to the Play It By Ear podcast. The podcast where the topics may vary because, hey, we play it by ear. And now your hosts, Eric Fiskus, Brady Lining, and Todd Griffin.
Episode 190, ladies and gentlemen, of the Play It By Ear podcast. Welcome.
Getting up there.
Yes, we are.
Long the toot.
Toot.
I have a question. So I listened to episode 2 because I told you I'm on a mission to listen to every episode. So I listened to episode 2. And Eric, you'd mentioned, I think it was episode 2. I think it was episode 2 when we introduced, it was the end of 1 maybe, when we introduced Matt as we had him record the intro. It's something like that.
That was 5 years ago.
Well, but you said at the end of the episode something about you'll notice you kind of gave a little heads up about hearing Matt's voice at the end of the episode, but it wasn't. But then the next episode started with the introduction from Matt. So I think it was episode 2 already. But at one time, did he have an outro he recorded as well? Because when you were talking about it, you said something about hearing his voice at the beginning and the end of each episode.
He does have an outro. He has an outro in every episode.
Well, not on Spotify. It didn't play the outro because you literally said like you know listen for Matt's outro or whatever.
He does now.
He does now. Maybe it was maybe it's the end of. I don't think I'm finished with that. I think maybe it's the next one's the end of it. But I was a little confused there. So anyway, I didn't realize we had Matt's intro and outro that early.
Yeah. That was one of the first things I did. Yeah. Was to hire the voice talent.
We ain't got no voices.
At a high salary.
That's right.
I'll have you know.
Yes. Zeman is back in the house.
Zeman.
Joey, if he's still with us.
Should I take offense to that?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna read his comment here. You guys are right. Borderline in the age group of people who possibly that would overheat in these temperatures. So please be careful around all this computer equipment.
Well, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. My very appearance overheats the equipment.
We can't be offended when he's right.
Well, I mean, Joey, how old are you? I mean, have we ever? Maybe we've said how old are you, Joey? Are you overheating up there in Cleveland?
I think Joey is. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's older than me, younger than you guys.
He is in betwixt.
Yeah, I think so. Long time no see or hear from.
Both of those.
Hope you're doing well.
Jerry and Celia.
In the
48.
So he is my age, right at my age.
Yeah.
And we got the historian on here. We cannot go any farther without giving his son Rory a happy birthday shout out. It is the Rohrmeister's birthday today.
How old is Rory?
I think he is 2.
Happy second birthday, Rory.
Yeah.
And he's a longtime listener. I've actually witnessed this. I've seen the pictures of him laughing when our faces come on the screen. Now, I don't know exactly what that means.
I think it's just yours, Brady. I think it's just your face.
Yeah.
Celia, you got to get in the house. You got to stop working outside. Can't complain you're overheating when you won't stop working.
Yeah, you're overheating, and Todd's sitting in there in the air conditioning.
Right.
How bad is that?
Right. I'm hot enough in here.
Hello, Samantha.
Hey, Samantha.
Right. So I was in Meat Chicken this past weekend, otherwise known as Michigan. Otherwise known as Michigan. It was warmer up there than it was down here.
Wow. Really?
I was outside of Grand Rapids.
I'll be honest. Saturday, Brady at the lake was very pleasant at the lake Saturday night.
Nice.
I mean, like
perfect,
super
night.
Perfect night. Friday was much hotter, at least for us. We were in Crestview Hills on Friday, and it was pretty hot, but this wasn't a breeze.
My audience, not so much, but my co-hosts here know that I'm a hot weather guy. But it got to me a little bit today. I took the Utes to the pool, and I did not have my stamina that I normally have for the heats. It was a bit on the firm side.
Because you're getting up in that age where you're going to get overheated, according to Joey.
That's right. Well, I mean,
gotta watch yourself.
Not only that, but you know my theory. That pool didn't cool anybody off. Just made you hotter when you got out. And unless you can stay underwater for hours, it's not cooling you off any.
That's a fact.
Like
Next, you're going to tell me,
non-aquatic.
Brady, you're going to tell me you wore flip-flops so your feet were cooler than if you had on shoes.
No, I've switched to Crocs.
Crap.
Some holes.
My hardware, my ankle hardware will not allow the flip-flops anymore. I had to move to Crocs.
So you wear Crocs, so then you burn like a leopard. All these little holes, little sunburn holes on your feet. Yeah. That's why I'm non-aquatic. The pool does no good.
I'm kind of like
Too
a
much
manatee.
trouble.
I just do a barrel roll. I stay underwater, then I'll just roll occasionally and do a at the top of the surface.
And you fart a lot,
Nah,
just like a manatee.
not I, but
Thank you, Joey. Joey and I agree. No man over four should wear footwear with open toes unless you're actively going from the beach or poolside to water.
yeah.
Amen. We've had this talk before, right? It's,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think the problem is this. I don't mind okay, let's just say that I'm driving down the road and I see you walking down the sidewalk and your feet are out. It doesn't bother me so much. But when I'm sitting there biting into my steak hoagie at a restaurant and I look over and I have to see your hairy ass toes peeking out from underneath the booth, put them away. At least put on eating socks.
Cover them. Cover that.
Well, now wait a minute.
Get yourself a pair of restaurant socks.
Wearing socks with open-toed sandals. Isn't there some rule against that?
Well, that's just a fashion rule. That's not a gross. There's nothing gross about seeing socked feet, but I don't want to see your toes.
No, that's just
your unkempt.
That's running for the HOA at Boca Raton kind of fashion.
Foot meat.
What if my toes are shaven and shorn and well kept?
Toes. They're not. They're still. There's no sense even going down that hypothetical alley.
Kish posh.
They should pass out this. You know the things they have at shoe stores for you to put on your feet if to try on shoes. I think they're mainly for women. But they should pass those out. Yeah, they should pass those out at restaurants. If you're a man that has your feet out. Anywho.
All right.
Here we go.
I will do my duties this episode because I forgot to last time. Find us on all of our platforms, our social medias, Facebook, X, and Instagrams. Like and follow us there. You can also find us on our video and audio platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Twitch, and iHeartRadio and the iHeartRadio app. All those places, plus probably many, many more on the audio side. Anyway,
short socks and comfy summer shoes. That's what it's all about, gentlemen.
Agreed.
I don't mind the no-show socks either. You got some of those.
Well, I do have a problem with no-show socks because sometimes they get stuck up under your heel.
You got to get good ones. I've gone through so many different brands of no-show socks, and I throw most of them out. But I've had a few brands that will stay.
Yeah.
That's true, Gary.
James is confused.
James, need you ask why we're talking about anything?
I was going to say, how long have you listened to this show or watched this show? You never know.
That's right. All right.
So we have things that we were doing last time that we need to finish.
Right.
So Todd has the floor.
So we are halfway through the first round of best road trip snacks. So we thought this is a good time of year to do this as we get into vacation season and road trip season. And to Eric, you didn't have many complaints about the first two regions seeding. I noticed that. That might be the first tournament we've done where you didn't have a seeding complaint.
No, there's still time though.
But let me remind everyone that this was broken into 4 regions. We had gas station staples, which we did round 1 of that. Drinks, which we did round 1 of that. And the other 2 regions we have is fast food and candy. All right. Let's start with fast food. First matchup, we have the 1 seed versus the 8 seed. 1 seed, McDonald's Nuggets.
Now okay.
I know what's coming.
Stop. If you're going to pick nuggets, McDonald's are not the nuggets to pick.
No, they're not.
There are much better nuggets out there than McDonald's nuggets. And did you say number 1 seed?
It's the number 1 seed in this region, yes.
Pish posh.
You traveled with children, Eric?
So I will say this.
Yes, I have, but McDonald's nuggets are substandard at best.
Well, they're much better than when they went from the gray meat to the white meat.
Well, fair, but
much
still
better.
They're gray meat.
Standard.
And I will say, I like the new chicken tenders that are back. I think they're pretty tasty.
They are.
But what we did last week, and I'm fine with doing it again today. If you want to say any fast food nugget, now you can't say like it can't be like a home cooked meal nugget, like a sit down type restaurant. It's a fast food nugget. So Wendy's, Taco Bell has nuggets now, I think.
What?
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. All right.
Arby's doesn't have nuggets.
Are we going to get loosey-goosey with this, and are we going to say nuggets and or tenders?
I say just nuggets.
Because it's just a long nugget.
I say just nuggets. This came up last week. Like we get a little loose, but not like. Because then somebody's going to say, "What about fingers? What about?" I mean, you got all kinds of chicken shapes.
Fingers a tender.
I'll say, as the Eric, you're the bracket man, but I want to call the shot on this one. Any fast food nugget, your favorite fast food nugget. How's that?
I'll allow it.
I like the Wendy's, the new Wendy's ones, or the newest ones, the ones that have they spin them in sauce. Anyway, so folks, your favorite fast food nugget could be McDonald's, could be Wendy's, could be the new Taco Bell ones, could be KFC, Chick-fil-A, versus number 8 seed Sonic Tots. And now Sonic is about the only fast food place I know that has tots.
I don't know if Domino's counts, but they've really been pushing the loaded Tods. But I don't think that really qualifies as fast food. So, but as far as tots versus nuggets, for me personally, this isn't even. I'm not a huge tot guy. I don't find them repulsive. They're just not a go-to of mine. I think I went through too many Ida bags of tots back in the day that were freezer burnt. And I think they've gotten past that, but I still have a little PTSD. But I'm going to go
post-tot stress disorder.
You got it.
So the historian has a clarification question. Sonic,
right?
Are we smothered covered tots of any sort? Do those count?
Let me ask this, because I don't really care either way, but I will say, when you start smothering them in chili and cheese, does that take it out of the road trip snack?
That makes it a fundamentally different. Makes it a fundamentally. Of course, it wouldn't your car. Makes it a fundamentally different food, in my opinion.
I think it takes it out of the snack realm and into the sit down meal realm.
Yeah.
So regular tots,
naked nuggets, and naked tots. Well, now naked nuggets. You talked about the ones smothered in sauce. I mean, do those count?
Well, the Wendy's has
the
new
with your hands.
Right. Well, you can, but your steering will be a mess. See, we're treading down. We're
going down a slippery slope, gentlemen.
Yeah. I think it's okay to have a sauce on your nuggets, but not chili and cheese on your tots. More so the chili.
I rest my case.
Case is rested.
Let's see.
I'm going I'm going nuggets. I'm a nugget fan. Say has a good point. It does have some protein, so you get a little more of a, of a full snack out of it.
Ooh, Chris comes with a heavy argument there.
He's fighting for the smothered tots.
If the drive into Sonic, what? Well,
yeah. I think he is correct, especially as it pertains to Sonic. I think he's got a very pungent.
I'm confused about
argument.
you have to drive into Sonic. All of these you have to drive through. I'm not a big Sonic guy, so what's he talking about?
Sonic does not have a sit down option. You said that it's more of like a smothered and chunked and everything is more of a sit down.
Well,
there is no sit down at Sonic.
I didn't say that Sonic
consumption.
Yeah, I was meaning more along the lines of it would be hard to hold a bag of chili covered and cheese covered tots while driving the car.
It would be.
I don't
speeding you from the passenger seat.
and even so, you're going to get there with chili all over your trousers.
Your pantaloons,
or in your trousers later. I mean, whatever.
Your slacks.
Now, the only thing I will say this, Chris, you're making me want to try some Sonic tots covered in chili and cheese. I've never had them.
Yeah.
I love me some tots.
This harkens back to episode 2, Eric. You talked about tots in episode 2.
Yeah.
He's a tautologist, and I think he is good. This looks like it's breaking.
Sorry, Chris.
I think I'd have to go with tots, though.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? Though, like on all these, both would be ideal. You pinch a tot, you pinch 2 tots around a nugget, and you take a bite.
You scrape it on your.
No scraping required. Just pop it, squeeze and pop.
Squeeze and pop. Did I say tots or nugs? I meant nugs.
You said tots, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I meant nugs. I think I gotta go nugs.
I'm going nuggets.
Man, I wish you'd get steak nuggets like we could back in school.
Ooh.
I like those.
Gristle nuggets.
Gristle nuggets.
I was to say, there's not a piece of connective tissue that wasn't deep fried in bread. That became the steak nuggets.
Sinew nuggets.
That was a lamb ligament of some kind.
All right. So what did you vote again, Todd?
I voted nuggets.
So we all 3 voted nuggets.
Yeah.
Correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
All right. So Celia says nuggets. That's 4. Tots times 2 for the Browns. And tots for Samantha. So that's 4-3. 4-4. Gary says tots.
James says tots.
Wow.
Uh-huh. So the historian is saying
Joey, is that your vote?
He just ate a nugget.
You cannot eat it with one hand, you drive with the other, and you cannot order them tots. You can do that. You can do that with nugs if you don't dip them.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's 5-4 tots.
Sorry,
So, yeah,
Joey, this is a tournament. And the matchup in this particular matchup is nuggets. These are fast food, by the way, road trip snacks. Nuggets versus tots.
Yes. So since you literally just ate a nugget, is nugget your vote, or do you have tots as your vote? That's a valid question.
It is a valid question.
Oh,
make it happen, man. I think
chicken fries are pretty. They're pretty decent. They're spicy.
I don't know that I've had them. It's just a skinnier finger, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pinky finger, and it's
They're
a little bit spicy.
Chicken nuggets, Joey. Chicken nuggets. I know we got off on the tangent of steak nuggets.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. So at our school growing up, Joey, our elementary, we had steak nuggets and chicken nuggets. We had like one time you'd have chicken nuggets, and the next time you'd have steak nuggets.
And the origin
Crystal
of that
nugget.
steak nugget is in question. It could have been a possum or a raccoon nugget.
It was pretty grayish. But we also had veal patty on bun.
Same texture as cube steak. Breaded cube steak.
Cube.
More like a rhombus steak. It's
sinew guts. Gentlemen, I think we have a tie.
Gary Sinew. What? Sorry.
I think we have a tie.
there's no sinew like Gary.
Like Gary Sinew. That's what I was trying. I knew something in my head was happening with the Gary Gnews. Gary Sinews.
So we have a tie. So our votes break the tie, correct? Did anyone not vote?
All three of us.
Nancy didn't vote. Oh no, Nancy
voted. She went Nugs. No, Nancy went Todd's. Who did I see? Was somebody else went Nugs?
So I don't think I counted Nancy's vote. So
did you get Joey's Nugs?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So I think Tots won.
Tots
by one. Okay. Well, Riley says Nuggets. Now we have a tie again.
Oh, now we have a tie again.
Anybody else?
I know what all three of my children would say. They would be Nuggets.
Nugs.
Anybody listening that hasn't voted yet?
Going once, going twice. Except we have a delay. I don't know how long we'd have to wait to actually see if before we go on.
We could go. We've never done this before. We could go to the next matchup, and then if we
Mama Liming says Nuggets.
That did it.
Oh, that did it. That did it.
Mama Liming is the deciding vote.
Nuggets it is.
Nuggets it is. All right. 4 versus 5 matchup, Eric. You know how these can be.
Yes.
And again, we're going to play a little loosey-goosey with the rules here because number 4 seed is Popeye's chicken sandwich. We're going to go ahead and say any fast food chicken sandwich. Could be Chick-fil-A.
Grilled or breaded?
I say grilled or breaded, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Versus, now this one I think has to stay. Okay. Big Mac. We can't just say any cheeseburger. I mean, because a Big Mac is so it needs to be Big Mac. So any.
Well, I know what I'm saying.
So your favorite fast food chicken sandwich, be it McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, Chick-fil-A, versus a Big Mac.
I had me a Pope Yes chicken sandwich. Where did I go? I don't know why I was down there, but I had to get it. And I might have one once every 2 years because I know they're terrible for me. And I've been eating very cleanly lately. But I had to have a Popeye's chicken sandwich, and it was delicious.
I deem it the most treat. I deem it the most overrated chicken sandwich in all of fast food.
You've had one?
It's good. Oh, yeah. I've had several. It's good, but it's not Chick-fil-A good.
No, it's not. I still prefer Chick-fil-A, but every once in a while, I want the Cajun spice and a good old side of red beans and rice with it.
My current favorite chicken sandwich is KFC's Mike's Hot Honey chicken. I'm addicted to Mike's Hot Honey. It's just fantastic stuff. Brady, you should try it. I know it's technically a condiment.
No, I actually, that kind of like a barbecue sauce I'm okay with.
Brady, where did you get your Popeye's chicken sandwich from? Eastgate?
Is that still open?
Oh yeah. It's just very difficult to get. It's the end of it's dead ended right now until they get the construction done. So.
I figured that would hurt their business.
They just opened up a Popeyes in Amelia.
Oh.
On 125.
I wonder if that's going to replace the current.
I don't know. It could, but never could deal with the Popeyes in Eastgate. I felt it was very unclean. And it's not easy to get to. So I mean, it's not a place I could go.
Right. Plus, I like the other things that were there before because wasn't well, at one time, Kenny Rogers'
Kenny Rogers' Life on the Red Planet.
It's good. And then wasn't there Fazoli's there?
Fazoli.
Fazoli's
was.
is where Chipotle is
No.
right now, isn't it?
No, it was there. It was right there
No.
in the corner. It was.
No, I think it was where Five Guys is in that area,
No.
Might have been.
or Firehouse Subs.
It might not have been a Fazoli's, but I know there was a place right there in the corner where I could get breadsticks.
Boston Market became
Boston
Fazoli's,
Market.
I believe. Anyway,
Yeah, Boston
For-
Markets, yes.
If anybody knows the answer to this, help us out. If you're familiar with Eastgate, we're talking about right there in the corner where,
Glen Estee, Withamsville Road.
right, where Popeyes is currently. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, thanks, James. I like hearing that. And thanks, Jenny.
Yeah,
Jenny and James.
Yeah, don't.
I-
His head's going to explode out of his little box on the podcast.
I love Fazoli's. I think it's pretty tasty stuff.
Better take that hat off before you lose circulation.
I can't feel my brain. There's probably a reason for that. Did we vote on this? Did we?
I don't think we voted yet.
I'm
going chicken sandwich. Chicken sandwich
Me
all day
too.
for me over a Big Mac.
Oh yeah, Eric loves Big Mac stories.
Yeah, no. Chicken sandwich for me, of course. Let's see. Let me get back up here for the voting. Samantha says chicken sandwich. Brown say chicken sandwich times deuce.
Yep, Gary will allow that.
Grilled
Gold
chicken
Star
is-
has a good chicken sandwich.
Yes,
Actually, Gold
it
Star
does.
has good burgers too.
I don't mean to go off.
Gary, it's like chicken sandwich is running away with it. Because no one likes a Big Mac.
I eat one a year.
I eat one every 30 years.
Let's just say, for those of you new to the podcast, Eric suffered intestinal distress and illness after consuming a Big Mac, and it was legendary.
What was legendary? Which part?
Story, the aftermath.
So, no, what was legendary about it is that you all were repelled by what happened because I was getting sick and I was going to I was running to the bathroom, and of course my friends, instead of consoling me, they want to go laugh at me while I throw up or doing whatever it is I'm doing. And on my way,
He created
let's just
some
say
exhaust.
I emitted a fragrance that stopped them in their tracks.
If you've ever seen three bears getting bear maced and then turn around from the picnic basket and run off, that's what you saw.
I wasn't there, was I? I don't think I was
No.
involved in this.
That would have been before.
You were not there.
Before my time. Chicken sandwich is running away with this, so I'm going to go ahead and.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it down.
I just want to end with this another thing of Popeyes. Popeyes came into my world in 1984 when my family went to the New Orleans World's Fair, and Popeyes was the only fast food which we were not familiar with. And after a long day of walking, it was one of the most delicious things I ever ate. But it set my mouth on fire also. But my dad always had a fondness for Popeyes, and he didn't like anything spicy.
Are you sure you didn't get a spicy chicken sandwich?
No, it was up. I think Popeyes have rolled back on their heat to become more mainstream. I'm sticking with that because it was a heater.
Gotcha.
It was good though.
Not so many Cajun spices.
All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen out there, 3 versus 6 seed. 3 seed, Taco Bell Crunch Wrap. Now, again, kind of hard to eat while driving. I mean, but a Crunch Wrap is held a little bit, together, I guess, a little better than just like a taco, an open taco or something.
Yeah.
Versus 6 seed Arby's curly fries.
Oh.
Now, my vote would be you have to stick with the Arby's curly fries because curly fries are definitely a different animal, and I don't think there's any other fast food place that has curly fries. But no,
why is that?
curlies?
I don't know.
Who else has seasoned curlies? It seems like there's one more.
Well, there's places that have seasoned waffle fries.
Oh, I don't like waffle fries.
So I mean, does Arby's have some sort of copyright or trademark on the curly fry? I mean, why have they cornered the curly fry market?
Joey, yes, that's it. Rallies, because Rallies has the spicy fries, but it seems like I have seen that, and he's confirming that. That's what I was thinking. I was going back and forth between Sonic and Rallies, and I think, yeah.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that Rallies had seasoned fries. He just said he had frozen fries.
Frozen
okay.
Fries. What are
All
frozen
right.
fries?
But I think Rally's fries are they're seasoned. They're like I mean, it's a straight fry, but they're seasoned.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to ask where tax was, Gary.
Is Rack still a thing? I thought they went away.
Kenny Enlow, longtime listener, sent a it was on his Facebook page that they were traveling someplace and they were eating in Iraq.
Well, somebody, where was I the other night? We were at a show here recently, and somebody was talking to us. Said when we told them we were from Hillsboro, they said they knew where Hillsboro was because they remember going to Racks.
Yep.
Racks in Hillsboro, Racks in Aberdeen.
But the Racks at Eastgate was pristine because it had the glass foyer off the side.
The sunroom.
Yeah, I always dug that.
Weenies always had those too.
Yes, they did. Always.
Joe, those would be good in an air fryer.
The Rally's fries.
He's talking about their frozen fries. You just heat them in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
But Eric, there was a Racks at Georgetown too.
Oh yes,
it was a combo.
Yes. Long John Silver's Racks, right?
Yeah. So yeah, so we're going to say Arby's curly fries. It has to be Arby's curly fries.
Yeah,
versus
that's a hard pass.
Taco Bell Crunch Wrap.
Now let's be careful. According to the historian, last time we talked about a roast beef restaurant, Brady got too far in the rabbit hole with Racks and dropped an F-bomb.
Oh, is that what caused it?
That's what caused the tongue tie, which I did not say it. But anyway.
Your mom said you said it.
Right.
My mom said that to make you guys happy. But let's see. Okay, so I was thinking today, this very day, I was wondering if Taco Bell was going to show up on the list, but there is nothing worse than eating a Taco Bell. Last time I had this, I was eating a chili cheese burrito, and it piping hot lava out onto my bare leg while I was eating it. Somehow dripped out.
Well, there's your problem.
Yeah.
Grown men should never eat chili-based products in short pants.
It was a day like today.
There's another rule of mine.
Yeah, so Celia says you have a lot of rules.
That actually isn't one of my. I might make it one now. I want to scorch my kneecaps with hot
Joey,
chili.
I do love me some Long John's chicken. That's
it tastes just like the fish.
No, it doesn't.
Everything from Long John's tastes the same, and that's why it's so good.
Except the barnacles.
Oh, even the barnacles, because that's what you're tasting when you taste the chicken and fish. It's just.
Yeah, you called them barnacles.
I already won that battle episodes ago. I don't need to take a victory lap again.
You won no battle.
It looks like curly fries is running away with this.
Seems that way.
And I think going back to original, I think that's more of a snack, or it can be like you reach over and you grab a couple fries every couple miles. You don't reach over and grab a Taco Bell wrap.
Don't you hate it though when you're driving and you pull out a curly fried? Of course, it's the one that's attached to like Singapore or something. It just keeps them going and going and going like a clown pulling a.
Or you pull it out and it's welded to every other fry in there, so you end up dumping the entire.
Like curly guitar chords, get them out of a bag.
It's just curly fries are just too much hype for the return.
I like them, but I think it's just because I like the taste of them. That's why I also like waffle. If it has that same seasoning, I don't mind what shape it is.
Curly fries do not cause me to go to Arby's. Now, if I happen to be at Arby's ordering something, obviously I'm fine with the curly fries, but they are not a destination food.
I am what is that?
That is Kenny enjoying Rax on this very day.
Oh, okay, yeah. When he said it was Rax and
today?
Chili Coffee, I couldn't tell what I was looking at there for a second.
I think it's a BBC. It is. It is. It's the roast beef and the cheese and the bacon on there. I bet.
It had a special sauce on it too. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a or was it the cheese or was the cheese a cheese sauce? It was like a cheese sauce, right?
No, they would
wasn't like a
sneak
slice.
something into it on the BBC. It was like the cheese sauce. You thought you were getting cheddar, but there was some foul condiment that they squirted in there, and it was awful. I remember the first time. Then
it was a bit tangy.
Yeah,
sour.
Normal people probably liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I was just in Chillicothe last week. I didn't know there was a Rax there. I would have gone.
So Eric, you said that you don't go to Arby's to get the curly fries.
No, it's not a destination food.
However, it angers me when I go to Arby's with someone and they get non-curly fries. First off, here's the thing. You stand by your curly fries that have made you that have been part of the reason why you've gotten famous. It surely isn't because of the quality of the roast beast. I think the curly fries is more a part of the Arby's name as much as a part of the Arby's name as anything. So why even offer a straight fry?
Well,
and then
that's what I'm saying. Should you be mad at someone for ordering the straight fry or at Arby's for offering the straight fry?
Both.
Do you get wizzy with them if they get a potato cake?
No, because they've had the potato cakes for a while. Just like they have great mozzarella sticks.
Here's a bunch of ado about nothing when Arby's offers the crinkle cut fry. Like, who cares?
That's what I'm talking about. That's their other fry they offer. They always have.
I thought they ordered. Well, I mean, I thought they had like a fry.
You know what's the best?
Crinkles.
You know what the best day ever is when you reach into your curly fry and pull out, and there's a couple crinkle cut fries just like resting in between, and you get a little bit of both of them. That's awesome.
I like that when I get a stray onion ring in my fries.
I feel like it's a bonus round.
I'm a firm believer that every restaurant that offers both should offer frings, and that is half order of fries, half order of rings.
Frings. I'd like the Gus Fring, please.
Hey,
the diner
has frings.
62 Diner has frings.
Okay.
Yeah, I get them every time I go.
Yeah. As I say, I've heard of that before.
Yeah. The battle is it's already been won. It's Arby's curly fries versus Taco Bell Crunch Wrap, and you know, Chris has a great point there. What's that?
Is that a milkshake?
Kenny said he ordered some extra cheese, and this is the vat that they gave him.
Oh man,
that's a lot of extra cheese.
I don't think it's much cheese. I think it's more sauce than cheese. See, you're one of the few that said Crunch Wrap. So think about this, dear. We're talking about a road trip snack food. Are you sure that you want to be locked in a car with me?
Are you sure?
Having consumed a bag of Taco Bell.
I'm guessing she doesn't want to be locked in a car with you having consumed anything.
Or any man, for that matter. Any man worth his weight in salt.
Okay, then I must not weigh anything in salt because
I was
just getting ready to say that Taco Bell, I know, is stereotypically supposed to affect people. It doesn't have that effect on me.
Gosh, Brady can eat White Castle right off the floor and not get anything. No effect.
I'm not saying that. You can't even walk through a lobby at White Castle without it permeating your skin.
Listen, I work at White Castle. You don't have to eat any of it. You just have to be in there long enough.
I still smell White Castle when Eric's around. He hasn't worked here in 40 years.
This is true.
I'm just kidding. So yeah, curly fries wins it easily on that one.
Celia hates curly fries.
The final matchup in this region, BK Whopper versus, this is odd. This is, Eric, I want you to complain about this because this is silly. That's a 2 seed, by the way. A BK Whopper is the 2 seed versus the 7 seed Wendy's Frosty. Now, those two should not be pitted against each other.
What is this? This is what region?
This is just the fast food region.
Oh.
So I guess they do need a dessert in there. I can see that. I don't know what else you would pit a Wendy's. They should have pitted a Wendy's Frosty up against a McFlurry or something.
A BK Huape is pretty solid.
Or a DK Flurry or something.
Right.
Or DQ Flurry. Yeah, that is an odd matchup.
Caden, that's a good question. Can you handle jalapeno White Castles, Brady?
I don't think I've ever had one. I like my jalapenos in very, I don't know, controlled amounts.
Exactly, Chris. That's why we're so shocked by this.
What do you say?
I'm impervious, man.
That is true. That is true. And I got to read the comment. Brady, who worries so much about his stomach and germs so much he has handles on his food, claims, in capital letters, Taco Bell has no recoil on his digestive system.
Sir, I will eat me a bag of chili cheese burritos, and I will come and sit at your home and watch some wrestling, and there will be no air fouled in your home.
He will eat him a bag, Benjamin.
Said it wrong. Bag.
Well, I was trying to. I didn't. Caden, what is this caramel vanilla swirl frosty?
Oh,
yeah,
that's two of my favorite. Like, seriously, that
exists? They've gussied up the Frosties.
Gussy.
They got some. haven't heard that word since 1937.
I was going to say, Eric, I think I hear your Model T running out in the driveway.
Let me give it a crank.
You guys want to give it a crank? Go crank it.
No. They got strawberry Frosties with Pop-Tart chips in them. And
really?
This caramel
really?
vanilla swirl thing.
Dude, that caramel vanilla sounds that's hitting right up my alley. If I could put some banana chunks in it, it would be perfect.
What? Banana chunks?
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
What?
Where'd that come from?
The Brady McFlurry that they were going to name after me because vanilla McFlurry.
They probably name it after you because no one else would buy it.
with graham cracker crumbles. Banana chunks.
Well, now you're basically creating banana pudding. I'll get on that.
Yes.
Okay. Fair.
I thought you just meant like just vanilla ice cream with chunks of banana in it. I wouldn't like that. If you ever find yourself at Miami Valley Gaming, they have some of the best banana pudding you'll ever eat. It's fantastic. Every time I play there, I get a couple of them.
Is it in a cup with cellophane on it like a cafeteria?
No cellophane, just a cup with an open top for your spoon.
Yeah,
I like banana pudding. Does it have vanilla wafer in it?
Got to have vanilla wafers in it. Now a vanilla wafer. This goes back to the Oreo, right? Where I you know how angry I get at Celia when she tries to put less than Oreos in front of me. I don't mind on a Nilla wafer. I don't mind the brand of those. I think those are pretty indifferent. They all taste the same.
I don't know about that. The Nilla wafer, I don't know if it's the taste, but it has a different texture than some of these off-brands.
Slightly soft and firm.
Exactly.
Simultaneously.
The off-brands are very crunchy.
Well, and if it's in banana pudding, it has to get that soft. There's nothing better than the ones that have had the weight of the banana pudding laid on top of it, and it skins it. You know what I mean? It literally takes the skin off of the Nilla wafer. So now you got just a pale disc down in there with the. The epidermis
Potato
is
disc.
all scraped off.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That is good. And when you put your spoon into the banana pudding and you unexpectedly come across this disc of vanilla
Yes.
wafer, that is a
Man,
great
that's good stuff.
surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. Brady, you should come up with something where you can put some of my banana meat snakes in your frosty.
Oh, we haven't talked about the banana meat snakes in a while.
That was also in the second episode. That was the first shirt proposal we had. We haven't done any of the shirt proposals we've come up with, but that was the first one. The historian probably knows that. I think it was episode 2 when we talked about the banana meat snakes.
There's a job for the historian. Put together a list of all the shirt proposals we have done in the history of this podcast, because I think we do need to visit some of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So back to Whoppers and Frosties. You cannot eat a Whopper without taking a shower in a Whopper. You certainly cannot eat one whilst driving. Impossible.
What about a Whopper Junior?
Brady would get it plain, so I mean, I guess he could, but no sane person gets a Whopper plain.
Yeah, I enjoy a Whopper occasionally. But shut up, Brady. The reason I eat a Whopper is completely different than the reason I eat a Frosty, though. Okay, so if I'm driving down the road and I'm like, man, I would love to have a Whopper right now. I'm not going to be convinced that a Frosty will scratch that itch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Correct.
I'm bringing the heat here because a lot of people would not want to travel with me because I do have I've got a lot of my father in my soul when traveling. I will stop while traveling on a road trip for a Whopper to sustain myself and love it. But you're not going to see me get off the interstate for a Frosty. That's for the destination. I'm not going to make any stops for snackage like that. At the gas station, you can get some.
Were those mousy rules?
Oh, yeah. They've been hardwired into me. I get uncomfortable.
Because, again, a Whopper is a meal.
Yes. Yes.
A Frosty is a dessert.
Correct.
Yes.
And you're not going to see me pull off I-75 en route to Florida to get just a Frosty off a whim. No, I'm on a mission. We're going to sustain ourselves and continue on.
I don't know that I've ever gone to Wendy's and just gotten a Frosty.
Well, I have.
My mom's on. She can back me up on this, too.
Eric, you're also one of those guys that will, not just guys, you're one of those humans that will also go through the drive-thru to get just a drink, aren't you? I think you've talked about that before. Yeah, I've never done that either. Celia will do that. Celia will go to McDonald's just to get like a Coke or a Diet Coke or whatever.
Yeah, Chris, I'll have none of these fries dipped in frosty stuff.
You knew the answer to that, Chris, before you even asked it with these guys.
Yeah. Not happening.
Nay.
So obviously by the seating, this has been set up for Big Mac versus Whopper. That's where the end destination of whoever put this together is to be. So I say we vote against it. I say Frosty.
Well, I can with a clear conscience. I would say Frosty over a Whopper.
Yeah.
For a snack. Again, a snack.
Yeah.
And Brady, I agree with what you said, but I still think a Frosty is more of a snack than a Whopper is.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I enjoy a Whopper, and like I said, I don't think I would pull off.
Josh,
I would probably spoil my own children and pull off our Frosties, but like I said, my mom is still on here. She will vouch. There is no. It's kind of antithetical. I didn't
really like that pumpkin. I didn't like that pumpkin Frosty they had there for a while. I wasn't a big fan of that.
I did not hear good things about it.
This proliferation of pumpkin spice nonsense is just out of control to begin with.
It's not the right season.
Let's just put that out there. I mean, I know it's not the right season, but everything is pumpkin spice in October. So, no. We seem to survive life without pumpkin spice for decades.
Or did we?
Look at the world's troubles. This is a result of pumpkin spice.
Exactly.
Eric, you and I are voting Frosty.
Yes.
Brady, what are you voting?
The Whoppe.
Whopper.
So you vote Whopper just because of your innate
My
rules
principles.
that you. So what if you bought a Frosty before you started the road trip?
Oh, yeah. Like, if I stop to get gas and there's one of those Wendy's built into a gas station, help yourself to that Frosty, and I would love it. But I'm not going to pull off the road for it. I'm pulling off the road and going to the drive-thru for the Whopper to sustain me to get to my destination.
See, I don't know that I ever
principled
had the
stand.
caramel apple Frosty. Is that? I wonder if that's the same thing. Well, no, probably not the same thing that Caden was talking about. So, say on the caramel apple Frosty, was the ice cream apple flavor, and it just had some drizzle for shizzle on the some caramel drizzle for shizzle on the
It's
ice cream.
Yappled apple.
Yapple. Babu.
Chris, I can tell you the answer to that. Brady does know that mayo comes on a Whopper. That's why he orders it clean, lean and clean, cheese only.
I go
Probably
up to the
has-
burger monarch and
Yeah.
I make my demands.
He probably has him de-seed the
sir.
bun before they slap it together.
So
They take
so
a leaf blower. They take a leaf blower to Brady's Whopper bun.
Brady goes to the drive-thru. I shall decree that my Whopper shall not have sauce.
I'm going to have a parchment scroll and read it to him. The king must hear.
I can just see how angry the worker is in the back. You see him in the back slapping the seeds off the bun.
I like the seeds. I don't know why they're there.
You're trading the mayonnaise for a nice glob of spit.
Joey, the veggie burger or the cow flesh Whopper. I have had a vegan burger once, and actually it was Eric and I's high school reunion. There was a food truck, and that was the only. But dude, it was one of the best burgers I've ever had, and it's not because of that. It just tasted phenomenal, and maybe I was just really hungry. But I would eat another one from that place. It was quite good, but I've never ordered one anyplace else. I only ordered it because of necessity.
Isn't he talking about the Impossible Whopper?
Yeah. The Whopper Impossible.
I've heard it's good.
So now I think it's a dumb name. You can't call it an Impossible Whopper if it's sitting there. It can.
Should be the improbable burger.
From what I hear is in it, it's probably more like the Impassable Whopper.
I would say it passes rather quickly.
Well,
and Joey, that was it. It was seasoned well. It was delicious, and I couldn't really tell otherwise. And after I finished, it's like, this might be better than a regular burger, but it was this particular place. I don't know if everybody else could hold up to it.
It's
Say
seasoned
you will
well
often
because
get a
that's the only way you can choke it down your gullet.
say you will often get a black bean burger if a place has one.
And that's what this was. I should go on record. It wasn't an impossible burger. It was a black bean burger. Bam, blam.
Good idea,
Yes,
Eric.
Gary.
Or Gary, sorry.
Yes, it definitely
Improper.
improper.
Improper Whopper. All right, so did Frosty win?
I think Frosty won.
Yeah, Frosty did win.
All right, that ends that region.
That is.
The final region, candies. Candies. One seed, M&M's.
A good.
Plain or peanut?
I'm going to say M&M of your choice, of your choosing.
Peanut butter.
Versus that is truly the number one seed. Versus the 8 seed Skittles. And again, any version of Skittles you prefer.
Love me a Skittle, but M&M's all day.
All Skittles taste the same, regardless of color.
That's been proven wrong. That's been disproved
Yes.
by scientists, by Skittle scientists.
Skitologists.
I don't mind Skittles, but I never crave them. I mean, if there's one in my hand, I'll eat it. But I don't go seek them out.
I have before.
Caden was the temperature in the car like air conditioned, man. Air
A
conditioned.
scatologist is better than a scatologist, I guess.
Yes. Have you ever had the orange creme M&Ms?
I haven't.
Oh, those
Sounds
are good.
noxious.
I like orange creme flavored stuff.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Speaking
Like a
of which, they have,
dreamsicle.
places have their dreamsicle shakes and stuff out now.
Yeah, excellent.
I think that would mess with my sensibilities. So I will not allow it.
They're good.
Peanut butter M&Ms, however. Yeah,
Oh,
outstanding.
I thought you meant
That's
just
my
the
go-to.
creamsicle shakes.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I like creamsicle shakes. Those are good.
Gotcha. Is it creamsicle or dreamsicle?
Both. I think Dreamsicle is a copyrighted brand of a particular.
That's a popsicle brand, orange and vanilla sickle, I believe.
Yeah.
Is the
What?
Dreamsicle.
Same.
Popsicle's a brand.
Right.
Popsicle's a brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their orange and vanilla is a Dreamsicle.
Dreamsicle. Joey, you're exactly right. I mean, I think chocolate by far is more popular than non-chocolate candies. I don't know that there is an M&M that I would not pick over Skittles. Although they have like a coconut M&M. I probably wouldn't.
The coffee ones can go take it.
I don't want.
Get that out of here. I'll punch somebody that gives me a coffee M&M and passes it off as a regular one.
Might as well chew on a damn coffee bean.
Oh,
Disgusting.
after I vomit, there will be violence.
M&M's running away with it. Has
Yeah.
anyone picked? Has anyone
Not
picked
seeing any
Skittles?
Skittle. Not seeing any Skittle votes.
A little bit of Eastern high school sports trivia. It was an accepted superstition on tournament games to eat Skittles before a game. Adults too.
When is that?
That would have been late 80s, 90s. That continued for a while.
Gary says Skittles. You had to do it, didn't you, Gary?
Messing up the perfect game.
Chris, I agree. Some peanut M&Ms with some Friday blasting in the background.
Yeah.
Todd, do you remember such a thing about Skittles? What is this he speaks of?
I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember any superstitions when I played the basketball.
Well, it was the crowd. Like,
oh, those are good, Josh.
There was about 5 or 6 people that would pass out a few small things of Skittles, and it was a superstition. I remember somebody passed them out in Madeira High School.
Right. Joey's question. He said, "Who make these? These aren't questions. These are tournament brackets." And I will say, the Skittles is the lowest in the lowest seed in the region. So, I think
I'm anxious to hear what's in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skittles aren't bad. I mean, they're okay.
Like a skid.
I'm just number 4. Kit Kat.
I have a kit and a cat.
Now, this is to me is a lot tighter matchup versus number 5 seed, Sour Patched Kids.
Oh, yeah. This isn't funny.
Now, see, to me, this is a lot closer than the Skittles versus M&M's. I like Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, this is Lithuania versus the Soviet Union invasion. This is even going to be close, like 1940 something, 30 something.
Josh even said the sour Skittle. Anything sour is better than plain.
Oh,
a sour gummy is better than a plain gummy.
There's another time about vomited. Somebody gave me one of those peach rings, and I thought it was just going to be a gummy, and it was coated in that alum dust.
I should
turn your mouth into a sphincter.
You don't ever tongue punch a peach ring. Those things are gross.
Those are
Peach is nasty. Peach is one of those things where even if I'm not a fan of peach anything other than I like peach pie or peach cobbler, but peach flavored candy is gross no matter what. Peach gum, peach. It's like saying watermelon. Celia loves watermelon, but she can't stand any watermelon flavored candy.
What about the Chick-fil-A peach shake?
No. Celia would love it. She loves peach ice cream. Yeah.
All right, Todd. What is this here? So Celia says Kit Kat, and then says Todd knows why. What's the story behind that?
Hang on, let me think. No, that wasn't Celia.
Say what?
Well,
no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I know why. Do you want me to tell the story, Celia, or is it okay?
I think she opened the door. I think she cracked the door. I think you got to burst through it.
No,
unless it's in flagrante.
It's not. No, it's probably not going to be funny to anybody else. But you have to put yourself in the time and place and the stupidity of my comment, which the stupidity of my comment won't surprise anyone. So Celia's grandpa passed away. Celia, when was this? This was 20 years ago. It's been that long. 20 years ago, something like that. What is ID? I don't know. You don't know if I can tell this or not?
Oh.
Or did you mean IDC? I'm just going to yell out. Do you mean you don't care or you don't know? I don't even know where she is. Anyway, I'm going to assume she means I don't care.
Well, she's outside in the heat toiling, apparently.
Right. No wonder she can't spell care.
Now, should we intervene on your behalf? Should
care.
you make sure it's no and not care?
She says care.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It just makes me look stupid. There we go. So Celia's grandpa passed away, and we were going to his visitation / funeral, and she said that she had to make a stop before we got there. She wanted to stop at the gas station, and I'm like, oh, she's on the treadmill. Sorry. She had to make a stop at the gas station beforehand. I'm like, well, why do we need to stop at the gas station? And she said, well, I need to get a Kit Kat. And I said, why do you have to have a Kit Kat? We're going to your grandpa's funeral. I think you can wait to have a Kit Kat after the funeral. Why do we need to stop at the gas station? And she's like, I want to put it in his shirt pocket, in his casket. She said, because that was our go-to treat when she was little growing up. Her grandpa would always buy her a Kit Kat. Mm-hmm. And when she told me she was going to put it in his shirt pocket, the only thing I could think of was, but Celia, it will melt. And, the look she gave me, and to be quite honest with you, she looked at me and then she actually laughed, which was, I guess, was nice to make her laugh on such a sad day. But so, yeah, I didn't think about the fact that it doesn't really matter if it melts or not. But that's what she means by the Kit Kat story. So not my most brilliant moment.
So you start by admonishing a grieving granddaughter on wanting a Kit Kat.
You don't need no Kit Kat.
You don't need no Kit Kat.
Get my car.
Anyway, I never heard of that. I never heard of putting a candy bar in somebody's shirt pocket at the funeral. So I was a bit taken back. I'm going Kit Kat. I do like Sour Patch Kids, but not like Kit Kat. I like Kit Kats. Yeah.
Man, no, Kit Kat.
Episode 1 is the first time we talked about Kit Kats. Isn't it weird how 190 episodes, 5 years later, we're still talking about Kit Kats?
Hey, coleslaw could pop up in this list sometime.
Good.
Did have me a good slaw this weekend.
Do you know what's odd about coleslaw? They never.
Sorry.
Karen, I was not implying that.
I didn't even think about that. Oh my God.
I just meant that I assume it gets warm inside a coffin, and I did not want to ruin his shirt. I wasn't even thinking along the lines of that. But what was I saying about the Kit Kat?
Something about a
coleslaw. Why is there no coleslaw spinoffs? There's no Lay's coleslaw flavored chips. You can't get coleslaw bites at like a restaurant. Bars haven't figured out a way to fry
communist.
hasn't figured out a way. They fry up everything. I mean, fried cauliflower, fried broccoli, fried corn, but they can't fry up a ball of coleslaw, a ball of slaw, if you will.
Ball of slaw.
Slaw
Because no
balls.
one can.
I want to order slaw balls.
Because no one can agree what slaw tastes like. That's why you can't put it in a chip.
You and I agree, and that's very rare when it comes to food.
You and I do agree on that. But apparently not all of humanity agrees because there's awful coleslaw too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's coleslaws that are only meant for rabbits.
Correct. I would say Kit Kat wins this.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, there are other flavors of Kit Kats too, right? So
there's
other
Coke slaw. Yeah.
That'd be like a sink with floating debris in it.
I have a gross coleslaw story if you want me to tell it. I've probably told it.
Why not?
So, and I'm not going to mention any names because I don't do that unless they don't care. But I went to a concert. And I went to a concert. It's been several years back now with a couple friends, and one of the friends had too much to drink before the concert and during the concert, or early in the concert. And we had gone to eat before the concert, and it's at Riverbend, and we had gone to eat at like the stadium grill there at the casino, and they had coleslaw. And we were at the concert. It was Aerosmith. It was Slash opened up for Aerosmith, and this particular person gets sick and starts throwing up.
Salad shooter.
And it was pretty much straight coleslaw. It was a mound of coleslaw, pretty much. And the problem is that Riverbend had just recently switched from real grass to the turf out there in the lawn, over the lawn. So the ground, none of it was soaking into the ground. It was literally just piling on top of that bright green fake, that turf. And this particular person we were with, significant other, like they were like, "What do we do?" It's like obviously it's not going anywhere. It's just so they like had a cup and they like start scooping it up in the cup to try to clean it up and get it off of the fake grass. But that did not ruin my love for coleslaw. Had that been me that got sick on the coleslaw, I probably would never be able to eat it again. Much like
you ruined your love of AstroTurf, though.
Hell yeah.
Well, imagine sitting on that turf today or standing on it.
I have never had the sun come in at this angle. I've got window waffles on my face because it's strange. It's never happened before.
Yeah.
Did you see Chris's comment?
I can only hope so, Chris. I think we chased Brad off for good. It takes a special person to talk about coleslaw as much as we do.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So I believe Kit Kats wins.
All right, here we go. Seed, 3 seed. Say I got sick on coleslaw once and didn't eat it for a decade. I remember that. I remember you wouldn't eat it. I don't know if I was with you when you got sick. The 3 seed Twix. And again, I'll say any variation of Twix.
Of a Twix.
Versus the Haribo gummy bears.
Sugar free?
Pick your poison.
Twix all day. Twix all day. The original. I like some other iterations of a Twix, but the original all day. And a gummy bear wouldn't even get close. Not that I hate them, but I don't seek them out to eat them. They do not satisfy me. So I'm going with Twix.
I think Twix could be the greatest candy bar invention ever. I mean, what other candy bar utilizes a cookie?
Samantha's right, by the way. The peanut butter Twix is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Eric, I don't know that there's an answer to that.
You ever had the cookies and creme Twix?
I have. Has anyone on the planet ever just eaten one Twick and put the other Twick aside for later?
It's impossible.
No, unless it's a fun size one that comes as a unitwicular unit. But
Well, and I have a problem with this. I think a fun size Twix should still be a duo. Still should be two side by side.
The little wedgelets,
Just little nuts like the end of your fingers stuck together.
Oh, that'd be cruel.
Why should they change? No other candy bar changes the shape of their. I mean, well, any dual like a Kit Kat does or Reese. So, but why not just make the size smaller and still have the pair or the quad like on a Kit Kat?
So, here's another question on that note. Why are the Reese's not fun size? They're miniature.
There's no fun size Reese's?
No, they're called miniature Reese's.
There's singulars and then there's those little couplets.
Well, there's a couple different sizes. There's not just one fun size because I have found that out buying prizes for my students. Don't tell anybody I buy candy. And some even like I've gotten like a couple different bags and like you dump it into my little prize bucket and there'll be different sizes. So I don't know what's happened. There used to just be like Eric, a fun size, like you said, but now there's like different sizes.
Well, they got those flat Reese cups. Like, what's the use in that? Why would you remove peanut butter?
I do like the flat Reese cup on a s'more.
Okay, well that's fair.
Yeah, it just stacks better. It plays nicer with the other ingredients.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? Like Kit Kats, they do have the ones that are still side by side and they're smaller.
Yeah.
But then they also have the singular cat. That's just about the size of a Tootsie Roll.
Oh, it's not like. Oh, have you ever had the giant Kit Kat? The giant cat. It's like one big. It's like one Kit Kat log, but it's a mega one.
Right. Oh, I have.
Oh, those are awesome. Oh,
yeah.
That was a fine day when I discovered those.
So we should have a matchup. The candy bars that come in that are more than just one bar matchup. So would you Twix or Kit Kat?
Yeah.
Twix.
Oh.
Twix has more to offer. There's more innards. There's more meat. Twix meat is better than Kit Kat meat.
Correct.
Yeah.
Chris, I have seen that.
That's a valid question. You have seen
that? It
that?
makes me just as angry as it does somebody getting straight fries at Arby's.
Anybody that does that, probably there should be a flogging involved. It just throws off the order of the universe.
I assume the only reason somebody would do that and have a good excuse is if something's going on with their teeth. Like if the positioning of their teeth, the layout of their mouth is as such where they have to like one Twick will go between their teeth too easily or something like that, so they have to keep them together.
Have you ever taken two Twix and put them under your lip and made walrus tusks?
Who hasn't?
Yeah,
Twix tusks.
Well, you can do that with Kit Kats too.
Right. You can even have 4 on a Kit Kat. You can be a
hillbilly.
Get summer teeth.
Highland William.
Good question, Chris.
Well,
hang on a minute. Kit Kats have layers that you can disassemble. What do you mean, Celia?
Oh, okay. So here,
you
say this is the top and this is the bottom. Yeah, and then you can separate it.
Right, you can't scrape the top.
Like stratification. Yeah.
You get the first layer of chocolate and the is it caramel or nougat?
It's a wafer.
No, the first layer. The top layer.
Oh.
I'm talking about the top, I guess, eating down.
Yeah.
That was just chocolate.
On a Kit Kat? Or on a Twix, I mean?
Oh, I thought we were talking about Kit Kat.
I thought you were talking Kit Kat.
Oh, Celia did say Kit Kat.
Yeah.
There's no, well, I mean,
I have seen people gnaw the caramel off of it just so there's a cookie left and they eat the cookie separate.
I've seen people do that too. How do they get that? It becomes just a naked cookie. Like the chocolate's all gone from it, the caramel's gone.
They're mostly in Supermax prisons now, I'm sure. But
and here's here's another question: why don't they just sell the Twix cookie?
It's a good question.
Seems like there'd be a market for that.
Is it just me, or are the right Twix bigger than the left? I think it depends on how hot it is.
Or does the right Twix hang lower than the left?
I don't know. You be careful. You'll sit on your. Never mind.
You'll sit on your Twix.
Sit on your Twix. I can't tell if Josh is joking or now it makes me want to buy a Twix and find out.
I think Josh is joshing.
Josh is joshing.
Yes.
So what's the next matchup?
But all the Kit Kats are the same size.
Yes.
Did Kit Kat win that, or did Twix win that?
Twix going away. Oh, totally over Gummies. Whole heck
Twix.
yeah.
This is the third one of these in a row. The 2 seed versus the 7.
Ooh.
Snickers, which I think pound for pound is the perfect candy bar, is the best candy bar on the land, versus Starburst.
Oh, I like me a Starburst, but I'm taking Twix. I'm taking a Snickers all day.
Yeah. Joey's right. I mean, to me, any of these, if it's chocolate against non-chocolate, chocolate's going to win.
Yeah. I made myself sick one time because, one of the things that slows you down with Starburst is you have to unwrap them individually, and that gets cumbersome. But, man, when they came out with those they look like chiclets almost, and they're a bag. They come in a bag, and they're naked Starburst bits. Oh, I about ate the whole bag, and I was belching rainbows for days, man. It like it. I was not well for about 3 hours.
I got a joke there, but I can't.
Yeah. Sure you do.
It is June. So I have a problem with Starburst because what kind of teeth do you all have? I mean, I'm not that old, but like they've bothered my teeth for years. I don't have the teeth power for Starburst.
Yeah, I can't do Starburst.
You'll rip them right out of your head if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Now they're not those now and laters. That's a dental tragedy waiting to happen.
Well, but I don't know because the now and laters are hard and more crunchy. But a Starburst,
you eat it now. You need dentures later.
But you'll sink your teeth in it, and then when you pull it out, you can actually hear the suction of your teeth. I guarantee your teeth are longer now than they were before you started eating Starburst. You're slowly pulling them out of their home.
So Brady, when you had these naked Starbursts,
Yes.
did you like eat handfuls of them together, or did you eat them one by one?
I think I started off one by one, and then I just lost my mind. But it wasn't super handfuls. It'd be 3 or 4. But yeah.
So Josh is correct about the Snickers peanut butters catching Reese's.
I love the Snickers peanut butter. Are you talking about the yellow ones?
You can peanut butter anything and it's edible.
Those are fantastic.
It's like Snickers run away with this too, which Snickers would be my vote.
Get to my Kleenex fast enough.
Bullhum.
See, I needed a hanky. That wouldn't have happened to my dad right there. He wouldn't have sneezed over his leg like I just did.
Thankfully,
Chris would know truer words never spoken.
Sugar-free naked Starburst.
So I like the Snicker almond ones too because they remind me of a Mars bar. Mayor's Bear. That's Fairbairn's favorite candy bear.
Not to be confused with, he would have to eat gummy bars. See what I did there?
So Snickers. All right, our first round's done.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Do we want to stop for the night and let Brady do his topic?
I think that'd be good.
All right. Let me get it. Eric, do some niceties and I'll pull it up here.
All right. Remind you of our media platforms, social media platforms. Facebook, X, and Instagrams. Like and follow us there. I think on Facebook we're nearing in on 800 follows. So follow us, please. Share us out. Todd, how do you do that again? Share it out to all your friends list.
So, hang on 1 second. So if you go to our page, if you just go up and you search Play It By Your Podcast up in the search bar, and then you click on our page, when you get on there, towards the top, right under where it has the name of the page and the followers and all that, and the little bio, it'll have 3 dots to the right. You click on those dots, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th option down says Invite Friends. Click on that. It'll have a list of your friends who you have not invited to like the page before. If you've invited them, they won't show up. And then you can click Select All, so you don't have to do it box by box. And then once you click Select All, at the bottom, a little blue bar pops up that says Send Invites, and it has how many you're sending. And then you click Send Invites, and you can send them all in one swoop. And Facebook has gone back and forth on that. There's been times where you could do that and times where it limited how many you could send. So take advantage of that when it lets you send to all. That's very cool. It's a cool way you can send hundreds at once. Hundreds. Help us break it fast. Let me look real quick. I was just on there. We are at 866 followers.
Ooh.
So we need to push for 1,000.
Yes. Let's see if we can make it to 900 by next week.
Josh just says he invited 640. And here's the annoying thing about that. You invite 1,000 people, 600 people, 500 people, and then you'll get like 9. So it really is a number. Like you have to invite such a massive amount just to get the few that you get. I mean, it's funny because like same thing happened. Like we had a very successful weekend with the band as far as new followers, and to most people it would probably sound like, well, that wasn't very successful. But you'd have to know the history, like just the way the numbers game works. We had 60 new followers over the weekend, and again, you're thinking, well, that doesn't sound great, but it actually is because typically you get a couple each show, and then plus
you all have like over 5,000, don't you?
We have 60, almost 6,400.
Yeah.
But cool. you also lose. Like if you pay attention each day, you'll lose a couple here again. So it's balancing. But anyway, we need to push for 1,000 by when, Eric? Next weekend?
I was saying 900 by next week. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See if we can do that.
We get 900 by next
week.
week.
We can hit 1,000. It'd be nice.
But push for 1,000 sounds better than push to 900.
True.
Push to 1,000. And Josh,
right, Brady, you ready
tonight?
Yes, thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, so this comes. I'm gonna splice a couple things. So because we're talking about road trips, we got to do the places you don't want to go. These are considered the biggest road trip fails, like the places you just don't want to go that a lot of people go, and it's just underwhelming. So this will be a little bit interesting. See how many of our peeps have been to these places. So I'm going to start at 10 and count down to number 1. So number 10 is with the Wisconsin Dells. The Dells are a premier getaway for Chicagoans in particular, well known for its numerous water parks that line the nearby towns. Summer homes dot the area. The fact that the Dells bills itself as the water park capital of the world. There's miniature golf, tourist boats, and billboards and crowds and Ripley's Believe It or Not and all the trapsy kind of things. So it's just considered kind of like just a big touristy trap. I had been there when I was little, but I liked it. But that's because I was about 7 or 8.
So, okay, 2 things. It's in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
And it's calling it the water park capital of the world. That's a little bit surprising.
Yes, I thought so too.
Number 2, water park capital of the world, aka hell. You guys know my lack of fondness for water parks.
Yep. Okay. No, I almost wonder, Samantha, if she's still on there, but her being a Chicagoan, and I bet she's been to the Dells. I know that my
I thought
Wisconsin
Samantha was from
family has.
Mississippi. I thought
Yeah,
Samantha
but
was from
she
the
did live
South.
in Chicago for a while too. So now this one on the list.
So
Go ahead.
on another non-related note, what did the farmer in the dell mean? What is that?
What did he do?
I
What?
don't know. What did it mean?
What is a dell?
Could somebody?
She was a
look
singer.
that-
Ha.
Rolling in the deep.
Yes. Somebody will have to look that one up because I've got my list up here.
I'll look it up. Let me
Okay.
do it.
It's a geographic thing. I think it's like a, like a valley or a something like that.
It's not a bluff.
Okay. A dell is a secluded wooded valley, a small retired valley, a ravine, if you will, or a young woman, a wench.
What? Did
What
you
it
say
says.
witch or wench?
Wench. So when it says the farmer in the dell,
Oh no.
is it talking about a
Well,
wench, or is it talking about a ravine?
I would say it was the ravine. It is a farmer that had a small operation in a ditch area.
But is it the farmer and the dell, or the farmer in the dell?
The farmer
In-
in the dell.
It is okay.
In.
That makes sense then, because if it was the farmer and the dell, it wouldn't make any sense. I wouldn't think.
So what is the farmer farming if it's a wooded area?
It's
Trees.
in the valley. Maybe it's a I don't know. Maybe he has apple trees and stuff like that.
So
Farmer
many
in the-
questions.
Yep. Samantha has been to the Dells. So she says it's a blast. Like I said, I loved it when I was little.
So Adele's mom really didn't like her. She named her after a wench.
Yeah.
All right. So a farmer in the dell, it says it probably originated in Germany. It was brought to America by immigrants. From there, it spread to many other nations. Lyrics. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi ho, the dairy-o, the farmer in the dell. The farmer takes a wife.
Who may or may not have been a wench.
The wife takes a child.
That's illegal.
Child takes a nurse. You guys know the nurse takes a cow. The cow takes a dog.
The dog takes a
Dog
dump.
takes a crap on the floor. The cat takes a mouse or a rat.
Mouse.
Did you guys remember it as rat or mouse? Okay.
That's
I
one,
don't
that's
think I
one
ever
thing
get-
I remember about the Wisconsin Dells was there was like some restaurant that had this giant mouse eating a cheese wheel, like a big sign, and there was a mouse on a cheese wheel, like gnawing it.
The Romanian language version is Terenul e Camp. The farmer is on the field, but the hey-ho is replaced with Ura Draguta Mia. Hooray, my sweetheart.
You're a
last-
Dagutamita.
The last verses are. Why are you saying it with an Asian accent?
We did not have. He's Romanian. I bet you did not have Romanian folk songs on your list for the show tonight. Yeah, you come here, you're gonna get a little bit of everything.
But there's nothing in this origin story that explains what the Dell means.
That
Again,
is-
what are you farming in a wooded area?
He's a professional. He has his own song. I'm sure he was good at it. But
The Dell's
Okay.
a rat barker.
rat barker, a giant rat barker, the big old cheese wheel eating rat malice. Now, the number 9 on this list surprises me, but when you hear their explanation, I think this person is probably a little bit curmudgeonly. So number 9 on this list is, which comes from Hub Pages, by the way, is the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is such an iconic place that you can't avoid the temptation to look over it at least once in your life. Tourist chartered airplanes and helicopters are as annoying as the RVs that clog the overlooks. Just get used to it because they're not going away anytime soon. Keep your eye on the massive defile in front of you that drops 1 mile into the Colorado River. The Native Americans selling T-shirts and famous handcrafted turquoise jewelry will seem benign compared to the camera-toting tourists from other countries that that think that lines are suggestions.
Well, tourists make everything worse.
Yep. So, but Grand Canyon was impressive.
I've never been. I'd like to go sometime.
I want to go down and see if there really is a lost caverns down there that are hiding the U.S., like they say.
Now, the farmer in the canyon, that would make more sense to me.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you ride a burro down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon?
We were going to. We even thought about it, but my aunt that went with us, she had a heart surgery, and they didn't think it was a good idea.
Well, I'd be more worried about the burro. I mean, like, those are the ones doing all the work. That's why I don't trust them. How do I know that burro is not on its last leg?
No.
How do I know when the last time that burro had its hooves properly
cared for and manicured?
So, because I've always thought of that. I've wondered. I would like to do the research and find out has there ever been anyone toppled down over the side of the cliff there, burrow back, like just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what Native American tribal policy is on upkeep of burrows?
Right. It's the same reason I don't ride roller coasters anymore. I don't know when the last time they greased the bolts and
I can say daily.
Everything.
I found out the last time I went to Kings Island, they do it daily, according to.
Supposed to do it daily. Same way with those burrows.
I would be more worried about the burrow. I mean, it'll be my luck. I'm on that burrow heading down and like a sidewinder or a rattlesnake pops out and causes the burrow to eject me.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I'd rather walk.
Number 8 on the list.
You know what they should have you ride? They should have you ride those mountain goats. Those dudes can, like,
fainting goats.
Not the fainting ones, but the ones that literally live on the edge of those cliffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Celia. TV 14. TV 14, Celia.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
Oh, nice, Celia. Number 8 on the list is Las Vegas. This is America's monument to the tacky plastic oasis in the middle of nowhere. Build it, and boy, did they come. Lined by hotels along the famous Strip, Las Vegas is one of the country's premier tourist destinations. Gambling is a mainstay, and this vice is unique to the city. It tends to attract all types. Unfortunately, those who can least afford to lose are among its biggest players. So anyway, I went to Vegas, and it's okay. I'm glad I went.
So Vegas is one of those places where growing up was one of the places where people be like, you got to go to Vegas. You got to go to Vegas. You got to go to Vegas. And now it's like completely done a 180. And now almost everybody I know is like, never go to Vegas. I would never go to Vegas. I never go back once they went once.
Yeah.
So is it just become that?
I don't prefer the Strip. I prefer downtown.
Pot. Thank you, Karen. It was ever present. It was ever present, and it smelled like it came from the same ditch.
You are the third person I've heard in the last 3 days talk about the smell, how bad the pot smell is in Vegas. I mean, I'm no fuddy-duddy.
Yeah, I'm no fuddy, but it was nasty, rancid smelling pot.
So what's happening? Why are they letting the smell?
It's legal.
Well, no, that not the sewage and the body odor part. I mean, like.
Well, I mean, it is 100 and something degrees. When I went for my 50th birthday, it was a few months after my 50th birthday, went to see REO Speedwagon out there, and it was 107 degrees. When we landed at night, it was 101, but it didn't feel like it. It felt like a blow dryer blowing your feet or blowing your face.
It's a dry
What?
heat.
It is, and it's weird. I mean, I hoofed around in that for 6 hours walking the strip, and it was, it doesn't hit you like today does here. It's a different feel. It's jungly
Yeah.
here.
Which
But
that's why it's no excuse to have the body odor.
yeah. Now, the place where I went to the concert was actually a suburb. It was called Summerlin, and it was beautiful. I could live there. Absolutely gorgeous. And I could get used to that really easily. But Vegas, I could leave it. Not my cup of tea at all. So,
So when you
and
saw Ario, was Bruce Hall with him? Was it before that debacle?
oh yeah. This was I'm 54 now, so it would have been 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So
Golly, you're old.
But and I think these two, boy, I'm going to catch a lot of heat for this. I might anger. I tend not to rankle people too much, but anyway, here we go. The next on the list, number 7, is Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and I think Vegas and Gatlinburg are almost kind of the same in a weird way. It's touristy, trappy in the mountains instead of the desert.
Gatlinburg, Myrtle Beach, Disney, Vegas. No better places at extracting money from you.
I was going to say
in different ways.
Different ways.
I've never gone to. We enjoy Gatlinburg every time we go. I will say that, but I mean the amount of money I spend, and every time I go there, it's just like a 2 or 3 day trip. We don't ever go like for like a week,
right?
And I spend more money there in 3 days than I do almost everywhere else we've ever gone in a week. Now, granted, I could use more self control, but
So what does it get you? The food?
I don't know.
Everything costs. There's nothing that is free.
Yeah.
Unless you walk up a mountain path, maybe that's free, but nothing else is free.
Yeah.
But it's just like so, and when
Pigeon Ferrage.
Pigeon Ferrage is just like go kart tracks, putt.
Fair Baron's favorite vacation destination.
Pigeon Ferrage.
He takes the family there once a year, Fairbairn, and
you got to watch out for the black bars.
The black bears. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah. Yes, bears is the way you would pronounce it.
But I'm not hating on Gatlinburg, but it's expensive. It's plastic. Everything is like they want to sell you something plastic. Does that make sense?
And it's traffic. It's just sitting in traffic.
They're so congested.
Well,
yeah.
When we go to Gatlinburg, we typically will park where we stay at a hotel like downtown or whatever, and we don't drive like for the whole time we're there, other than to go over to Pigeon Ferrage.
Yeah.
But I mean, even getting there is like you're sitting in traffic.
Why do we assume in our little joke that only we get that Fairbairn himself talks like that? Like you.
He's actually
like he
Hawaiian,
probably
isn't he?
Like he introduces himself like that. Like a Fairbairn, glad to meet you.
Okay. Okay. So everybody should. No, I shouldn't say everybody should do it. But like, for instance, I will tell you the epitome of the Dixie Stampede in Gatlinburg. You're shucking out $70 for some horse running around the ring. You could smell the feces while you're eating.
It's like my dad. My dad's like, I refuse to eat where there's horses taking a shit just a few feet from me.
I can get the brown lung. And but then like the other thing is that like the novelty of having to eat with my hands I found off-putting. Now,
well, I will say this. So we went. The only time I've been to the Dixie Stampede, it was like a Christmas time show.
Yeah,
and it was good. It was entertaining.
That's cool. I'm not saying I wasn't entertained, but
the food was good.
Not to the point of if you take a family of 3 or 4, it's about $400.
Right. The food was very good, but I agree. I had one little flimsy napkin that came in like the little plastic bag with the fork and the stuff in it, and I'm supposed to
Towelette.
wipe the
Moist
chicken grease
towelette.
and the yeah.
Okay, that is a problem. If you're paying that much to be there, there's no freaking way you should be handed a napkin and a fork in a plastic bag. That should not happen.
I don't mind
Yeah.
drinking off a metal plate in a goblet, or eating off a metal plate and drinking out of a goblet. I don't mind that. Well, that's more like the
Nice.
medieval times.
See, now that I could get behind. Well, actually, I didn't get to go to this one, but the kids they went down there and it was a pirate thing, like a pirate ship battle, and I heard that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, Gary can confirm Chuck Pope. Yeah, I can't remember if it's the Dixie Stampede or the medieval times, but he won't go to any of them. But I will say this: they're quick. They're quick to pick up the horse poop, like at the medieval times in both that and Dixie Stampede. Like
They'll
they
sling
have
some sawdust on it and roll that sucker up faster than a boll weevil. Yeah.
the more entertaining if they had a game of.
All right, let's go on to number 6. This is one place I have not been.
I have a real quick story about Gatlinburg. So this is one of those parent of the year type things. The kids were young. We went down for an anniversary one time, Say and I did, and we took the kids with us, and we were, let's just say and I really were enjoying the moonshine sampling places and the wine sampling places and stuff as we walked around. And so we stopped at like a candy store at some point, and the kids got some candy. We're back at the hotel that night, and we're just kind of watching TV, and we look over, and the kids, they're real little, and the kids are using their candy and doing little like moonshine tastings, like with their candy. They're basically acting out what they had just watched us do for several hours.
Oh man,
were they acting drunk?
I don't remember that. It just we're like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, we're sampling.
We're drinking the moonshine. What cracks me up about Gatlinburg, there's this one particular store on the main strip of Gatlinburg where there's a taffy and there's like a lot of biblical wear, like biblical themed t-shirts. In the window above it sells these hookahs and bongs that were the size of redwood trees. I mean, you could see them. Like there was the Bible store, there was the candy store, and upstairs there was this place that had these, like I said, hookahs and let's just call it paraphernalia store. And
yeah, I don't get that either. That was the first place I remember seeing, like on the strip there, you see like the stores filled with like the air pellet guns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, why is that a good idea to sell those as you're walking up and down
or samurai swords? I always wondered what the connection between Tennessee and Asian cutlery was. I wanted a throwing star so bad there back in the day, man. I would have.
Oh, I had throwing stars. I ordered them from my karate magazines.
Oh yeah. I never did get one. I still want one, but number 6 on the list is one that I've not been to, so I'm hoping somebody out there has. I hear Bruno T Dog yapper schnoodling. Anyway, Ocean City, Maryland. This is what happens when the Hamptons go plebeian. It should be more aptly named Concrete Jungle on the Sea. It might be unfair that Ocean City, Maryland was singled out as the prototype of where to avoid because it's just a mirror image of many eastern seaboard resorts from Myrtle Beach to Atlantic City. Its inclusion in this list owes it to the fact that people from D.C. to Philadelphia and points in between think it's the cat's meow of coastal elegance, replete with biker bars, tattoo parlors, commercialized seafood restaurants, mini golf courses, high-rise hotels, and unsightly breakwaters. The summer population of this city balloons into a flood of high schoolers that came to work and play and get drunk and party. And the boardwalk is yet another gem, as the Ferris wheel and amusement parks are, from like the 50s or 60s.
I've never been.
I've not either. I've just never, gone that direction much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gary says, throw a rat barker in Gatlinburg would be near perfection. I bet back in the day they had rat barkers on that strip.
Oh, probably
Here's a
did.
picture of Ocean City, Maryland.
Looks like Atlantic City.
That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what came to mind. Okay. This is going to get some fun. Number 5 on the list is Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Amish.
Known near and far as the Dutch country, this term actually is a misnomer because
The freaky deaky Dutch.
this drives me crazy. I was literally corrected, but I didn't want to be argumentative. The Amish don't speak Dutch. It's German. They were saying the German word for German, which is Deutsch, and it was mistaken for Dutch. So it's German. And it's all the horse and buggy and famous outlets and eateries and Dutch Wonderland and Kitty Park that builds on the area's traditional ethnic consciousness. Large, yeah, it's just like, okay, are you ready for me?
I gotta just say that Eric on my screen is freezing up, and literally that entire drink he just took was in slow motion. Like so this is what it looked like.
Like he was doing a commercial.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like it was pixel by pixel of Eric drinking his orange swill.
Swill.
Here
So,
is what.
Are you sure it's Lancaster?
Is it Lancaster or Lancaster? Like we
I don't know, because people always pronounce Lancaster, Ohio, Lancaster. I've been told that's what it is, but how come when it's a name, it was Burt Lancaster, but the towns are Lancaster?
I'm not sure.
I thought the Ohio place was named after the Pennsylvania place. So I think they're both Lancaster.
Yeah,
Lancaster.
So here you go. I will tell you what you'll find there. You will find a stick with a gingham ribbon tied to it. It costs $50, and you could get a block of medium grade fudge. And people will drive hours out of the city for it.
I like me some fudge. I will say that. Speaking of which, I've gotten good fudge in Gatlinburg.
And saltwater taffy.
I don't see that. You must have some robot teeth, man. You must have the strongest teeth ever.
Robot teeth.
How do you eat
saltwater
taffy?
I grew up in the 80s because I exercised my choppers with some good hard food. Do you remember that, Eric? Exercise your choppers when you chew, chew, chew. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
If I took a bite of saltwater taffy, I just envision me pulling back and like every tooth in my head being still stuck in the taffy.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only question is, would your top teeth be disrooted or would your bottom teeth be disrooted?
Both.
Probably both. Probably both.
I can just feel I can feel the sound and suction. It almost makes me nauseous to even think about biting myself.
Oh, like that sound, like when you cover your foot up at the sand at the beach, the wet part, and you pull it up, and it goes like that.
Well, have you ever had a mold taken to the dentist and they put the tray in there and you got to bite down? That's
yeah. Ooh, it's foul.
Yeah.
Number 4 is in Pennsylvania. Also, the Poconos. It's infamous for the hordes of retirees who come for the weekends on the Route 209 and loads of nature seekers, in quotation marks, who've never been out of New York City or Philadelphia. The Poconos has its redeeming qualities. There's lots of antique shops. Lots of antique shops.
Is that where they do summer stock?
Yeah, I think so. And
as in like acting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then okay. The numerous hotel all-you-can-eat brunches are legendary, as the prices people are willing to pay for this stuff to stuff their bellies while gawking at white-tailed deer from their hotel porch. It was here that the champagne glass jacuzzi was patented, giving the area its long-standing tradition of catering to racy couples on a whirlwind weekend getaway with heart-shaped beds and that tacking and shag carpets and things like that.
I didn't know the Poconos was known for such things.
Champagne glass, jacuzzis always make me laugh because I think about somebody being under them and looking up when people are in them.
Somebody's getting
It's just people pressing ham against the glass.
hopefully nobody's getting a glass bottom boat ride. So like, all right.
I mean, I assume you can see through. I mean, I assume it's glass on the bottom. That would not make for a very good visual.
Yeah. Moving right along.
Look like a baby hamster just looking at you in his cage.
I gotta keep together. Okay, number 3 is the White Mountains in New Hampshire. These mountains are a spectacular haven for outdoor enthusiasts in the summer and winter and have a history of tourists escaping the summer heat. Unfortunately, it boasts almost as many kiddie parks and ice cream stands as waterfalls and mountains. Clark's Trading Post, Six Gun Village, Santa's Village, Heritage, New Hampshire, the scenic railroads and auto roads on Mount Washington Cog Railway, the car that climbed Mount Washington. It's just they say it's ruined the outdoorsiness and the beautiful scenery, and it now just becomes that's a Klondike Bill reference for you, Chris.
You know, the problem is this: nowhere is as good to go as it used to be. People have ruined everything.
Yes, blame the people. Blame the people.
Yeah, that's why just staying at home is so attractive.
They say that Mount Washington is like one of the coldest places in the United States in the winter.
Really?
Due to the wind velocity and all that.
Well, Eric, you went there. I think Northern Kentucky University can give it a run for its money in the wintertime. The wind comes whipping through there. Good Lord.
Sorry, guys.
Brady fell off his chair.
Crap, I knew that was going to happen. I was trying to get my charger out of the wall so I could give it to Randlin, and it disconnected. And they both fell, and now it's over on Mount Washington, and I can't reach it. So, well, Eastern High School is also one of the windiest places. That wind is always whipping up there. Not as cold as Highland Heights, but
nothing like it. And here in Hillsboro, this is the windiest place I've ever lived. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Number 2 on the list is Black Hills, South Dakota. It's another beautiful area with some must-see features that owe their existence to the rugged granite of the region and the beautiful
musty features.
The Ponderosa Pines, Mount Rushmore, the spectacular Needles Highway, Wind Cave National Park, Jewel Cave National Monument, however, are surrounded by less than savory attractions that feed off the well-intentioned visitors. The volume of RV parks is just an appetizer. The Stratosphere Bowl Dinosaur Park, Storybook Island, and the faux western towns in between are all traps waiting to ambush you at the borders of this otherwise beautiful region. Of course, there's the Wall Drug Store, about 70 miles east of the Black Hills, which serves up a nice prelude. It's a huge trap known for its bumper stickers. Can take any suburbanite and turn out a drugstore cowboy within a few minutes.
What's it called?
Wall Drug.
WALL.
Is it like
a
Walgreens?
Just like WALL, like Wall Drug. And we went there when I was little, and you could get like a fresh bottle of sarsaparilla, and they would sell you the there was all these places where you could buy like deer horns attached to rabbit carcasses, like taxidermed rabbits, where you could buy a jackalope and that kind of stuff.
Jackalope.
Not kidding. That's that kind of stuff. So, do you anybody have any guess what number 1 is?
Myrtle Beach.
Could be Myrtle
That
Beach.
would have been my guess.
Somewhere in Florida?
Nope.
Panama City Beach.
Nope. It's pulled its reputation out of the ditch. Panama City Beach is actually nice now. They got rid of all
Hollywood.
I would think
Hollywood.
Here we go. Number 1 on the list.
Hang on a minute. Let us. What state? You said it wasn't Florida. If you give the state away, will we
New
get it?
York.
Times Square.
That is on another list, but not on this one. It's not New York City.
The Catskills.
Nope. I will give you another hint.
Niagara Falls.
There you go.
There you go.
Niagara Falls. Okay, here is the scoop on that. While the falls themselves are spectacular, Niagara Falls is perhaps the world's first tourist trap and remains a poignant, if disgusting, reminder of what happens when commercial development encroaches on and exploits natural phenomenon. By the way, the Canadian side is not much better. Tourists come by the busloads to peer and gawk at the falls from several venues, including elevated rotating restaurants, gangplanks that form daring catwalks out of the river, and soggy boat rides that diesel their way up to the foot of the falls. Then there are the tourist traps and parasitic tourist attractions that take advantage of the tourist hordes, like Ripley's Believe It or Not, hotels, Hard Rock Cafe, and Native American casinos. So, went to Niagara Falls the year before last year. Yeah, it was last year, and it was nice. I was there as a Ute, and it was tacky. So it is doing its best to like knock the skank off of it. But I will say when you look across at the Canadian side, the hotels looks like Soviet era architecture. It's depressing. But
When I was younger, I always heard the Canadian side was better. As far as from I always heard the Maid of the Mist from the Canadian side went closer to the falls than the American side. I don't know if that was just a rumor or an old wives'
I think
crack.
it's changed. I finally got to do the Maid of the Mist this year, or last year, and it was pretty sweet. I enjoyed it, and you know how I'm about boats and water, but it was.
I
cool.
did when I was a kid. Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we went. I had never gone to the American side. We went to the Canadian side, but we've talked about going here recently to the up to New York.
Yeah, I would not discourage anybody from going anymore, because it's really not bad. I enjoyed it. It was clean because that's what I remember from my Utedom, is it was dirty, and it was not dirty. It was. I think they deliberately tried to make it more natural, and you know what I mean, like let it reclaim its place, instead of just like ruin it, you know. But
I've never been.
You should. There we go. Play it by ear road trip. We'll go to Niagara Falls and ride the Maid in the Mist, and we'll comment on it.
There you go.
That plastic. You got to wear that plastic bag. You look like the News Democrat stuffed in that boat.
Yeah. They do give you like the.
Yeah, I remember them being like chintzy, cheap, like rain slickers.
Yeah, they give you a poncho, and
they give it to you or have to buy it.
Well, when you pay the admission to go into the park and get like when you do the attraction or the tour, they give them to you.
From what I remember, they're no use to you after that.
Oh no, they're disposable. Yeah. Now, the what's it called? The Cave of the Winds. They had higher quality ponchos. Did keep those. Those went back in a little poke and took those back home because they were like they weren't bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, it wasn't like putting saran wrap on like the other ones.
Well, and you know, any list like this obviously is a matter of opinion of whoever wrote it. I mean, because Sadie says she wants to go. Well, take me. Take me.
Take me too. Just throw me in the trunk. I'll go again.
Say, are you buying?
There you go.
It was
he's buying. He's flying.
As the lead singer of Vinyl Countdown, you get paid more money, right?
She should.
That happened one time. Somebody asked her. Somebody assumed that she made more money than the rest of us.
Get to drive through Beefalo.
She's no Dennis DeYoung, Eric. She doesn't. She's no. She doesn't want more money.
Oh man! Well, that brings it to the end of my list.
Actually, I don't know if Dennis DeYoung wanted more money or not. I always wondered that, how the setup and pay is in like big bands. Like, I mean, songwriters obviously probably get, you know what I mean,
Well,
if they wrote the song.
Yeah.
I can tell you in Styx that Tommy Shaw and JY make the residuals and Dennis DeYoung. The others are paid a salary.
Yeah.
So even Chuck Panazzo is paid a salary. So I think he sold
Really?
his share or something.
You ever wonder if he regrets like leaving the band? Like, I mean, here's what 30 some years later when he still.
His health's not good, is it?
Well, yeah, but he still goes to almost every show, doesn't he? I mean, like,
Pretty much.
yeah. I mean,
I think maybe I've been to one show he wasn't at.
I just wonder if he foresaw being sicker than what he's
Probably
not being able to do as much as what he's been able to do. You know what I mean? I don't. There's no way he could have seen himself being able to continue to tour and be on the road and stuff.
Well, then he got hit by a car. So.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Yeah. Right.
That'll do it.
No, I mean, it's actually kind of sad to see him out because he can't hardly walk.
Right. When did he get hit by a car?
15 years ago, maybe.
Okay. It didn't turn him into a raging lunatic idiot like it did Stephen King when he got hit by a car?
Or Gary Busey, no. Well, Gary Busey had a motorcycle accident. But.
Right. It's interesting. I never knew this, and I won't. No. Let me. It's too late now. It's too late in the episode. Next episode, I'll read it to you. It's interesting. I found this book, and it's like these like horror stories of like the road, or it's about bands and stuff and tragic things happening to bands. And I didn't realize all of the. If it's true, I haven't researched it, but according to this book, all these things that tied into the day the music died, the Buddy Holly and Richie Valens.
Yeah.
I didn't realize all these things that tied into it.
Well,
Pretty.
You could probably play 6 Degrees to the day the music died pretty easily, I would think.
Yeah. The Waylon Jennings thing always surprised me.
I consider myself a pretty knowledgeable, as far as music history, especially Buddy Holly. I'm a big fan. I mean, obviously I know the Waylon Jennings thing you're talking about, like how he gave up his seat, that kind of thing.
Well, but it even reaches into country music too.
Well, right. And I knew about the whole, like, he and Buddy kind of kidding each other, and Buddy telling Waylon, like, I hope your bus freezes up again, and Waylon saying, well, I hope your plane crashes, that kind of thing. And that, but I mean, these are like things that are connected to, like, just one example. This is towards the end of this little list of things is Del Shannon. Runaway, and Hats Off to Larry. Don't you laugh at Hats Off to Larry.
Classic.
But anyway, like, I can't remember exactly. Forgive me if I don't get it right, but something about, like, he played this. I don't know what year anniversary it was of the day the music died at the Star. Is it Star? What was it called? Starlight Ballroom? No, the place in Iowa.
Yeah, in Iowa.
Starlight. Is it Starlight Ballroom? Is that what
I think it was Starlight, yeah.
Yeah. And he plays this benefit, this anniversary show of it, and then, like, Del Shannon committed suicide, like, just like a couple days later. Like, there's just so many things like that. Like, it's just, I never really traced and read. It's very much like Final Destination or something. It's very much like people that were involved. Eddie Cochran played that. He played that last show at the Starlight Ballroom with Richie and the Big Bopper, and he ended up dying in a car crash, a couple years later, that kind of thing. So
it's crazy.
Just little things like that. But that would be a good episode. Just like these weird, I don't know what you would call that, but that would be a good topic.
Yeah.
Can't make a lot of funny out of that, but
yeah.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order, gentlemen? Schmentlemen.
Brady, to answer your question, I think we can. Yeah, it's up to Eric. I don't know. Did you read your text, Eric?
No,
Did you read your text?
No.
So, Eric, who do you think has aged better? Zmed? I don't know the other one's
Maxwell
name.
Caulfield.
Maxwell Caulfield, or
Shooter McGavin.
I'm referring to a picture Eric. I'm referring to a picture Eric sent us earlier. We've talked about Grease 2 a lot on here, and it's 3 of the main characters in Grease 2, like back in the day versus I don't know.
Christopher, what's his name? Christopher. Shooter McGavin. Christopher McDonald.
Sorry,
McDonald, right?
There you go.
Yeah. I think Caulfield the best.
Caulfield doesn't. I mean, he's aged pretty well.
I don't even think Caulfield looks the same. He looks like a different person.
Yeah, the hair, but Zmed has aged the worst, I think.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to sit back and pick on these people because when we're this age, I'm sure we're going to be pristine and crisp.
Yeah. So I see the text. I think we can mention it's in the works. I mean, we've not finalized it yet.
Okay. So no final details. We're going to hold back on those.
This is a breaking news. If anybody's still listening, we can't tell anymore if people are still listening.
I gotta work on this and find my counter. I don't know where it went.
Hasn't been many comments lately, but if you're still listening, Brady has some exciting news. And like he said, there's nothing set in stone. In fact, we have to talk to some people. In fact, maybe someone's still listening to this episode.
So we have a plan in place. No set details yet, but there's not going to be one, but there's going to be 2 live play it by ear live episodes. One will be this summer, and one will be a special holiday edition. And these will be live where you guys will come out to the event like we did on our 100th episode. So we're going to be having 2 live events. That is the plan.
And this will be in celebration of our 5th. This is year 5 for us.
This is year 5.
Year 5 for us.
We did turn down Carnegie Hall because their seating situation was not enough. It was not up to our standards. So we're holding out for Red Rocks.
Red Rocks. Any other information along those lines that we can give? But anyway, stay tuned, and we will promote the ever living crap out of it when we finally make that announcement. But we are going to announce. We will say this: we are going to announce both of them at the same time. That's the plan. And again, we know one will be this summer. Give you a heads up. We're looking at late July, and one will be late November, early December is what we're looking at. For the holiday special. So we still have to talk to some people.
Yes.
Hint, Gary.
So
Gary, if you're still listening, we need to talk to you.
And let us know if you would be interested in some new merch. Like
merch. Fairbairn.
I just remembered one of the possible T-shirt designs that we talked about way back in the day was hot dog handle.
Yes.
Don't be a hot dog handle.
Don't be a hot dog handle. So that, hey, and Chris could help us. That could be one of our live topics. You know what would be really cool? If one of the live shows, if we could have we could find someone who's an artist, and they could do like somewhat bigger like markups, write-ups, or what do you want to call them, like of these shirt ideas, and we could present them to like the crowd or something like that, and have them pick our first actual shirt that is not just a plain, regular, like our podcast shirt. That would be pretty cool. We have, and that's another thing too.
Bobbleheads.
Yeah, we hope that you, if you're listening, we hope that you plan to attend one or both of those. And again, we'll have more details as we work it out and we iron it out. But we're pretty excited to do it. I will tell you this: we had meant to do it before now. I mean, there's been 90 episodes since we did the live one, and I know we talked back then how we wanted to do it more, but I think just we didn't want to make it cheap. We don't want to make it like, okay, we're just going to do a live episode.
Yep.
Willy-nilly. So 5 years seems like a good.
So call a buddy and bring a friend when you hear about it.
Right.
Fill the place.
Yeah, and we'll try to get it out soon. I mean, I know, heck, we're getting into late June, guys. So I mean, we'll get it out soon. Those dates and locations, and Karen, if you're still listening, if you come to it, we'll be sure to put a microphone in your face because we know how much you appreciate that and enjoy that. Right, it's a little inside joke with Karen because she gave C a warning the other night before he played to not put the microphone in her face during the show. Because Celia is somewhat known to do that to people.
Yes.
Did she, Karen? I forgot to ask you. Did she respect your wishes and not put the microphone in your face the other night? Gary's back. Well, Gary, you missed all that then.
Dead air. All right.
Oh, okay. You were talking, just not singing.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
Anybody? All right. As far as next week, I don't guess we picked a day yet, but just keep an eye on your socials, and we'll put it out there. And hope y'all can join us. Obviously, the holiday is next week on Thursday? Is that right? No, Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday
versus Tuesday.
Yeah. You scared her, Karen. Way to go.
All right. So we'll let you know what day we are planning on doing our episode 191. So stay tuned.
So how close can that July date come to our 200th episode?
Pretty
have
close.
You done the,
it'll
have
be
you done the math?
It'd be like 194. Be close, but no banana.
Yeah, if we make 200,
unless we did a couple dual episode weeks in order to make it 200 for the live episode,
like the pandemic days.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so stay tuned. We'll have more information on the live. We'll have more information on what day next week we'll do 191. So stay tuned for all of that. Todd, take us out.
Thanks for listening to the Play It By Ear podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter at Play It By Ear Pod 2, and our website at anchor.fm/Play It By Ear podcast. Thanks again, and join us next time as we play it by ear.